Hi, Kyle from Infidelity here. Today we're going to talk about Beats' new Solo3 headphone. This is a Bluetooth wireless headphone. It's $299, and it's most interesting because it's the first headphone that has the Apple's W1 chip, which is their wireless chip that's going to show up in their new wireless ear pods for the iPhone 7 this fall. Hopefully, it's been moved back a little bit, but the point is that this represents Apple's new view of how Bluetooth wireless technology, essentially, or wireless technology for headphones, can be used or should be used in the Apple ecosystem of products. But I'll first start by saying this is a sealed on-ear headphone. It's a very nicely designed headphone. You can look for my review on Infidelity of the Beats Solo 2. It sounds very much the same. It's a little bit overly warm in the bass, but not terribly so. The bass bump bleeds into the mid-range a little bit, giving it kind of a thick sound, but it's not over, it's not really excessive. It's just a little warm. Also, the top two octaves in the treble up above 5K are a little more rolled off than ought be, so it gives this headphone a little bit of a laid-back sound. Nonetheless, it is neutral enough to be very pleasant, and most consumers are going to be perfectly happy with the sound of this headphone. I think the build quality is excellent. It comes with a little carry case here. These headphones do fold, and they can go easily into the case. It also comes with a wire. It's about a 4-foot cable with an angled connector on the player end and a one-button remote in the on the cable with a mic in it. When you plug the cable in, it does turn off the headphones, so they're completely passive. That way you can use it on an airplane safely without emitting a bunch of energy. And a nice USB cable. So bottom line, these are a nicely built pair of headphones. $299 price may be a tad high on it, but given the 40-hour battery life, which it does have. I haven't measured it exactly, but man, they just haven't run out of juice since I've had them. Of course, every time I do a test with them or something like that, I make sure they're fully charged. But boy, they'll go for a week with normal use with on a single charge. So they last a long time. And then the other thing is the Bluetooth range is amazing, 3 or 4 times longer than anything I've ever tested before in my house. With my phone on one side of the house, I can walk through the house and out the front door and to the mailbox at the end of the driveway, and I don't get any dropouts, and no other headphone I've tested even comes remotely close to that. So they have incredible range. It may be that they're using a class 100 milliwatt Bluetooth transmitter in here, but from what I've read on the internet, it's maybe more likely that they've begun to implement aspects of the Bluetooth 5 standard that came out in June, and that standard has much more range, higher data rates, provides location services, can do I think they call it unpaired beacons or something like that, but the bottom line is that it may have more features than what is actually available for use right now, buried in this W1 chip. We just won't know until Apple turns these things on. But at any rate, great battery life, great Bluetooth range, just amazing. On the downside, if you've got an Android product and a Windows laptop, these headphones will not pair with 2 devices simultaneously. So I can pair with my iPhone and iPad, or my Samsung Note 5 and an iPad simultaneously. And if my phone rings, it'll automatically pause what's playing on the tablet and I'll be able to answer the phone call directly. So this other headphones, current headphones using the Bluetooth 4 standards can connect to 2 devices simultaneously with good audio quality. This headphone cannot. But if you're an Apple user and you've got Mac OS X Sierra, which is pretty much the latest Mac OS, and the iOS 10, I believe, and Apple Watch 2 or better, these headphones have another function entirely. And what happens is, and I'll show you this a little bit, is that they've tried to improve the pairing experience and both the initial pairing and then how you move the headphone from one device to another, and unpair and then pair on a new device, so that it makes it much more easy, and it certainly is. This not only has a regular Bluetooth channel, but it also has a Bluetooth low energy transmitter, and it is able to sense when there is another device nearby that knows how to recognize it, like an iPhone or an iPad, and using this Bluetooth low energy. So when you first pair these headphones, and I can't show you that because they're already paired, but when you first pair these headphones, all you have to do, we'll see if we can get this to show up for everybody. And okay, we'll get all the reflections out of the way. There we go. So you bring up the control center, and you can swipe over in this direction, here, and click there, and you can see that there are the Beats headphones is not available there. Now, if I turn this headphone on, and I just have it near the phone, what will happen, as you see, is that the Beats Solo 3 becomes available. Now, if this was the first time that you paired, there'd be a larger screen letting you know that you've attached to the Beats Solo 3. So now all I have to do is click the, it picked it up as because it was the last device I used the Solo with. It picked up the device and it's now activated. So now what has happened is, once I paired this headphone, the Solo 3, with my iDevice using the control center, not the Bluetooth controls in your settings, it automatically propagates all the information about the Beats Solo 3 over the iCloud, and you have to be connected to the iCloud for this to work. It propagates this information over the iCloud, and all your Apple devices that are on the iCloud on the network that you are currently on will now have all the information necessary to pair to this Beats Solo 3. So once this is done on your iPhone, then all you have to do is go to your iPad, and it will also magically appear on your iPad control center. And if I want to watch a movie and connect to my iPad, all I have to do is push the Beats Solo button here, and it will automatically pair to the Solo. So now it's paired to the Solo, and the pairing has been lost on my phone. Okay? So this is now off on my phone. So what Apple's done here is they've created a transport mechanism in their software that allows you to request the headphones on one device that it's currently not paired to, and it will automatically kind of hijack this Bluetooth connection from one device and switch it over to another, and you don't have to unpair and repair using your Bluetooth settings and controls, which is pretty cool. And you can do that from any Apple device in your house that has the current levels of software on it. So now the question is, what happens if I'm watching a movie on my iPad, and I get a telephone call. Now, with normal Bluetooth connections, Bluetooth headphones, of current Bluetooth headphones that connect to two devices simultaneously, if I get a phone call, I'll get it will give me a tone, and if I tap the earpiece, for example, in the Sennheiser PXC550, it will pause the movie and answer the phone. But the Solo3 doesn't have a simultaneous connection to two phones. It has very quick switching between devices, but it doesn't have a simultaneous connection. So as long as, let's see if I can get to this quickly, as long as in my settings, if I go to General Settings, there's a handoff setting here, and if I turn on that handoff setting on my iPhone and my iPad, so now if I watch a movie on my iPad and the Beats is connected to my iPad, and then on my Samsung phone I'm going to call my iPhone while I'm watching a movie, what happens is my iPhone will ring, and because I've enabled this handoff, the telephone call will show up in FaceTime on my iPad. And so now I am I can answer my phone here. I think I rejected the call just now, but you see the point is that even though it doesn't have the ability to attach to two devices at once, it does have the ability for you to answer your phone while you're watching a movie on an iPad, for example. But again, it all has to be connected properly through the iCloud. You have to be on a single user account. You have to be on the same network. You have to have the handoff selected. So you got to make sure everything, and you have to have all the current operating systems. So you have to make sure it works like that. So in the end, it's an interesting development. I think it will be useful for folks who are Apple-centric and they have a lot of Apple devices in the house that they use regularly, and they also want to switch between these devices on a regular basis. I would say if you have only two devices that you're normally connected to, that a Sennheiser PXC550 or a Bose Quiet Comfort 35 or a Noontech Zorro 2 wireless, those headphones are probably more convenient because you're connected simultaneously to the two devices. But if you have a need to have three or more devices that you want to use on a regular basis and connect to with your headphones, that this may indeed be, advantageous choice. The other question is, what will Apple do next with this technology? It's not what the Solo does now, but now that it has the W1 chip, what other features are they going to roll out in their operating systems to take advantage of this device? It's possible using the Bluetooth Low Energy that if you walk from one room to another, the connection is going to be good because of the Bluetooth is so strong, but if it notices it's near another device, maybe it just switches automatically to that device. Of course, that wouldn't be useful because you're listening to some media stream, but maybe they'll be able to put the audio stream that you're requesting on your headphone through iCloud, so that if you're playing music on your iPhone and then or iPad, and then you switch over, you move and you move rooms and you go to another place where you're near your iPhone, that it automatically switches to your iPhone and maintains what you were hearing by streaming it through the iCloud to this new device. So the connection follows you around as you move through the house, and the media that you're playing follows you around. In other words, you set up the status of what you want to listen to on the iCloud, and then all the streaming just goes through there and it points it at wherever the Beats Solo happens to be. I don't know what they're going to do, but they will do something more than just what they're doing right now, and it's going to be interesting to see what those things are. Yes, if you're an Apple user and you've got a lot of Apple devices in your house and you're up to speed with current operating systems and you like to switch between devices all the time, and you're sick of unpairing and repairing your headphones, and you're sick of dropouts when you walk away from your iPhone inadvertently, this may in fact be a damn good improvement over what you're doing right now. If, on the other hand, you're Android and Windows centric, this headphone is a step backwards since it can't simultaneously connect to two Bluetooth devices at the same time. So I wouldn't say it's a great step forward. It's an interesting step forward, and certainly shows that Apple is committed to their new way of dealing with wireless devices. And I'm very interested to see what they roll out for this next. It's going to be an interesting time. Anyway, good little headphone, a little high in price, hell of a range on the Bluetooth, and long battery life. Apple users, sure, this is. I would take these probably over a pair of earpods, frankly, because I have yet to try one, but I can't imagine that they're going to be better sounding than these. So have fun with that, and we'll see you guys next time.